welcome to InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw. We are having a toasty summer, sometimes a little too toasty. How are you doing? And more to the point, how are your pets doing? They're feeling it too, if you are. This is Laura Klink from the Oregon Humane Society, and I have so many questions for you, but first of all, who is this adorable guest we have?
Isn't she just beautiful? This is Paisley. She is a 3-year-old pit bull mix who is at Oregon Humane Society Salem campus right now. She is available for adoption, and as you can see, she is very much enjoying this air-conditioned studio, and she is just a lovely, lovely, sweet girl. She's been with us since the beginning of June, and we are really hoping that she finds a home soon because she's just lovely.
I want to play with her at some point. We're going to.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I just can't wait. Paisley, you were really super dog there. Look at how quiet you are.
She is such a nice girl, and
What is her story?
So she came to us from Marion County Dog Services, and a lot of the dogs that are at Oregon Humane Society come to us from Marion County Dog Services. We have a partnership with them and with so many other animal shelters and rescues around the state. At Oregon Humane Society, at our Salem campus alone, we're set to do probably about 3,500 adoptions a year. We are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we have a great infrastructure in place to be able to do a large volume of pet adoptions. And so that is one of the benefits to our partners who may have more limited hours, who may have, a lot of other priorities. Bringing those animals to Oregon Humane Society to find them homes is really what these partnerships are all about.
You said that Paisley is about 3 years old? Mm-hmm. What was it about her that makes her special?
So she is special for so many reasons. She is, as you can see here, she's very calm. She definitely has her playful side. She loves playing with toys. She, I just met her very recently, and I was so impressed with how well she did in the car on the way over here. She's just a wonderful dog. She's definitely one of our staff and volunteer favorites, and she has been waiting longer than we would like her to be waiting for a home. She's been with us since the beginning of June. Pets at Oregon Humane Society, there's no time limit on how long they are with us before they're adopted. And while they're with us, they get so much love and care. Paisley gets walked multiple times a day. We have a program called Dogs Day Out. So our volunteers, who are just spectacular, take dogs out into the community, to Lowe's, just for a little day of shopping. We have another dog who's with a volunteer today at the beach. And all of these things really help the animals at the shelter. It helps them stay calm and relaxed and makes their stay with us just a little bit more enjoyable. Being in a shelter is no equivalent to being in a home. So our goal while they are with us and while they are shelter animals is to make them as loved and relaxed and happy as possible.
You talk about the heat, and how is she doing with the heat, and what do you do to help all of your pets, dogs and cats, handle the heat?
So, this is an interesting time of year. We're very fortunate at Oregon Humane Society that our Salem and Portland campuses are both fully air conditioned. So when the animals are in their kennels, it is a cool environment. But we also take a lot of steps to keep those shelter animals cool when they are out on walks. We have kiddie pools that we have set up. We put rugs down where there's black asphalt when they're out on their walks multiple times a day. When it's interesting, at our Portland campus yesterday, we raised the temperature in some of our office spaces so we could prioritize the animal care areas to stay nice and cool. So keeping the animals cool and safe while they're with us is a huge priority. And this time of year when people are adopting, we talk with our adopters about the things that they should do to keep their pet safe. There's the obvious one, like don't leave your pet in a hot car. There's always a lot of talk about the dangers of that. But other things as well. One of the things we do sometimes to keep our pets cool is to take them to the river. But you have to be really careful because not all dogs are natural swimmers. So you really need to kind of go slow to make sure that animal is comfortable in the water. The other thing with the river, this happened with me and my own dog when I was over in Central Oregon a couple weeks ago, is rivers can have surprising currents. So you might be playing frisbee with your dog in the water and that current can start to take them. So so you have to be really careful. Definitely, cool. You want to stay cool. You want to do the things and have the adventures with your dog, but just to be careful. And the heat too, with some pets, it affects them more than others. Paisley is 3 years old. She's healthy. She has, a healthy snout, but there are those dogs like French bulldogs, English bulldogs, pugs who have kind of their, we call them like the squishy face dogs. It can be harder for them to cool off even when they're panting. So folks really need to keep an eye on their pets if they're excessively panting or lethargic. Just try to get them into a cool spot and avoid heat exhaustion or stroke, which is an emergency.
And for cats, same thing or different?
Oh, same thing. Persian cats obviously have that squishy face as well, so you have to be careful that they don't overheat as well. Making sure that your cat, if you have an indoor-outdoor cat, that they have shade and water if they're going in and out. Keeping them inside. Luckily, it hasn't been too hot this summer, but I think we all remember just a few years ago when it was 117 degrees, and it really was a safety issue and needing to keep your pets indoors. But yeah, you have to, I know a lot of times cats will like to lounge in the sun and they can be hot to the touch, but cats are also very good at self-regulating.
We're talking about our cat.
Yeah, so you just want to also make sure that they have access to that water, that shade, so they have options to stay cool.
You talk about indoor and outdoor cats. Is there a rule of thumb about that? Because you don't want anything bad to happen to a cat if in a neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, the safest place for your cat is indoors, and there are a lot of things that you can do to make that environment enriching for your cat. I have 4 cats, and they're all indoor-only cats. We have a catio, so they get that enrichment of getting a catio, so a little screened-in area out of one of our windows in our houses that they can go outside to look at the squirrels, look at the birds. But I know that that's not always realistic for some cats. There are some cats that really just, they have behavior issues if they're not indoor, they don't have access to the outdoors. So certainly you could cat-proof your yard. There's those things you can put on the top of a fence so it prevents cats from jumping out of your yard if you have a fenced-in yard. And then also always making sure that your cat is microchipped and has a collar and license. So if they do get lost, that they can be reunited with you.
I'm looking at your t-shirt, Doggy Dash 2025. How did that go?
So Doggy Dash Salem has been so much fun this year. It took place on June 14th, right down the street here at Riverfront Park. We had dozens of vendors. We had folks with their dogs in costume. It's a beautiful route. There's a 1 mile and a 5K route that folks can walk or run with their dog, with their family. It's so fun to see just families and kids coming out. Again, dogs in costume, and it really is about this sense of community and celebrating the love that we have for animals and doing an activity together. So Doggy Dash Portland, Doggy Dash Salem, wherever you want to dash, we have a dash for you. And we have a date already for Doggy Dash Salem for 2026. I can't believe I'm saying 2026. That takes place on June 6th. So we'll be back here at Riverfront Park on June 6th of next year for Doggy Dash Salem.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. You also have another program. I think it's called Diamond in the Ruff, and I love that. Ruff.
Ruff, exactly. R-U-F-F.
What is that all about?
So Diamond in the Ruff is just one of the ways that we at Oregon Humane Society get creative to try to find these animals home. I talked a little bit before about how we really try to make their stay with us enjoyable and enriching, but we also know that our ultimate goal is to find them loving homes. And so sometimes we have to get a little bit of creative in how we maybe talk about them on social media or really highlight one of their great personality traits. So Diamond in the Rough was a program that was created to really help folks that might be reluctant about adopting, especially a big dog. So Diamond in the Rough is a foster to adopt program. So it's basically like a 2-week trial adoption. And we designed this program specifically for some of the dogs who have been with us a little bit longer. Nationally, a lot of larger, energetic young dogs are sitting in shelters for a long time. And one of the ways that we can help those dogs find homes is to make it easier for our adopters, or maybe take away some of that hesitation or fear that folks might have about adopting a dog. And so look, she's so cute. Sleeping here. Paisley is part of our Diamond in the Rough program. So a potential adopter would foster to adopt her. So during the 2 weeks that she's kind of in that trial phase, we have a lot of support that comes from our adoptions team, from our behavior team, because we want it to be a successful adoption, but we also want it to be the right fit for the adopter. So that communication with that potential adopter over those 2 weeks is so important to determine, is this the right pet for you? And a lot of times, you know, it gives people that confidence to say, yes, I am ready to take on a dog, or yes, I can get the skills and tools needed to help teach this dog some basic manners, especially for a younger dog who maybe not yet potty trained or maybe a little bit mouthy. These dogs all have potential to be wonderful pets, and helping folks feel confident about taking that on is so important.
How are you getting the word out about this? Because that sounds to me like a really great thing to offer.
Well, this forum is definitely a fantastic place to talk about Diamond in the Rough. On our website, certain animals will have a Diamond in the Rough description, something in their description about them being part of Diamond in the Rough. And Diamond in the Rough is really for these groups of dogs that have been with us for a long time. I mentioned that Paisley has been with us since early June. Winter, who is another dog at OHS who is part of Diamond in the Rough, she has been with us since April. She also came from Marion County Dog Services. So, you know, we look at the dogs that have been with us the longest, who might need a special adopter. And again, it's all about making it a more enjoyable experience for our adopter, and maybe a less scary experience for our adopter.
Yeah, so that they don't have unrealistic expectations, but they also know what to expect.
Exactly. I mean, adopting a dog is a huge commitment, and adopting a puppy or a young dog can come with a lot of challenges. I mean, sometimes they like to chew furniture or eat your shoes, or they're not potty trained, and it can be very overwhelming. I mean, I've been a volunteer in animal welfare for 25 years, and when I adopted a dog about a year and a half ago, I had that "what have I done" moment. And Diamond in the Rough, and I work in this industry, so for your average person, when you bring a new dog home, it can be overwhelming, and that's okay. And we at Oregon Humane Society, once any dog goes home, even if they're not just Diamond in the Rough, or cat or kitten, we are here to help support that journey, because we want that bond with that pet to be strong. So with our free behavior helpline, with our online library of behavior and training, or in-person training, we are here for the life of your pet.
What percentage of your adoptions really are permanent home?
I will say our adoptions team, it's always going to happen when sometimes a pet is not the right fit. A lot of animals come to us and they have been strays in the past, so we don't have a lot of history. And actually, Paisley is a good example of that. She was adopted and she was returned to us because she didn't get along with the cat. She didn't like the cat. And when you adopt an animal, you obviously have to prioritize the safety of your own pets. And we were not aware that she was not good with cats. pets. And so she went home and we helped guide, we guided the adopter on how to introduce, and they did all the right things, but sometimes it's just not the right fit. And that's okay. And now we have extra information about her to find the right fit. So, what we also try to do at Oregon Humane Society is if it's not the right fit, that's okay. There's no shame in needing to return an animal if it's not the right fit. We want to support, if it's a matter of needing extra training support or extra access to resources, we're certainly here for that as well. But it is an overwhelming process. So sometimes we have to just encourage adopters to stick with it. We are here for them, and we want that bond to be strong.
All of that is very reassuring to know, because you have tremendous backup and support and a huge number of volunteers. You're always needing volunteers, aren't you?
Yes, and I mentioned before, I've been a volunteer for more than 25 years at Oregon Humane Society, and honestly, it has been one of the most rewarding parts of my life. I still volunteer. I walk dogs on Wednesday night, so it is the best part of my week. But when the phrase that when you volunteer, you get back so much more. When you give, you get back so much more, and that is so true. And whether it's animal welfare or another cause that is important to you, I think there is so much to be gained by giving your time and volunteering. And there are so many great causes out there. So I would encourage anyone to volunteer, whether it's at Oregon Humane Society or for another organization. It's just a great way to give back, and like I said, it helps make your community a better place, and it's really rewarding and fulfilling to you. And at Oregon Humane Society, we literally could not do the work that we do without our volunteers. The skill, the expertise, the love and compassion that they bring to these animals. We have in-shelter volunteers, but then we also have foster volunteers. So when an animal comes to us that is too young for adoption, maybe needs a medical procedure or something, we have folks who will bring those shelter animals temporarily into their homes so they can grow, heal, maybe overcome their trauma. So again, that part of our work is so important, and that's one of my favorite parts too when I'm in the shelter is chit-chatting with the volunteers, because they really get to know these animals, and it really does help us find them good homes.
That's wonderful. And speaking of summer, you have a summer camp.
We do. I love talking about our humane education programs, because this love of animals, when it's instilled early in children, it really helps them grow up to be animal lovers as adults. It helps foster their sense of compassion and kindness. And so we have a huge variety of humane education programs throughout the year. But right now it is summer, so we have summer camp happening. We have 6 weeks of summer camp here in Salem, and also in Portland for 3rd graders through 8th graders. My friend's daughter just went through summer camp, and it's truly so sweet to see kids bond with each other over their love of animals, and also the connections that they make with the shelter animals while they're there. And our humane education team brings in guest speakers. They have special arts and crafts activities. They will make posters to promote some of the pets for adoption, and of course the kiddos spend lots of time with the shelter animals, which helps the shelter animals too. So yeah, we are right in the middle of summer camp. We have about 130 kids here in Salem who will be going through summer camp this year.
Oh my goodness, that many!
Yeah, when I was just at the shelter, the education hall was full of kids, and it was just buzzing with activity, and I love seeing that.
Well, the kid in me wants to get to know Paisley.
Absolutely.
Oh, that would be fun.
No grabbing, please. Mind the manners, lady.
Can I give you a little treat? Oh, that's
Sit.
Here you go.
Sit, good girl.
Oh,
good
look at
girl.
that.
Good sit, little lady. Good sit.
May I pat her?
Of course.
Oh, you are gentle. She's so gentle.
She's so nice.
Hello.
Good girl.
Oh, maybe a little more?
Oh yeah,
Just a little?
Yeah. What we usually do is just give them little tiny pieces.
Little tiny pieces. Here we go.
There you go. There we go.
Oh,
good girl.
You are Well, now I'm going to.
Oh, good
look at-
job,
yeah,
Mama.
Oh, good job. I like that. Oh, with the waggy tail.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
There we go.
Tell us about what she loves to do.
So she loves toys, and I forgot to bring toys today. She also loves belly rubs. She did just have surgery recently, so you got to kind of be careful around the belly rubs. But yeah, seeing her playing with a toy is really cute, and obviously she loves treats as well.
Would you like another treat?
Yes, she would.
Oh, there we go.
And she clearly loved riding in the car. So all of this is great information to give to a potential adopter. So we're really hoping that she finds a home soon.
I do too. If anyone wants to get in touch with the Humane Society or the Humane Society Salem campus, how do they do that?
We are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. so you can walk through. We have an application you can fill out, and then you can schedule a meet with her, and we do same-day adoption, so folks could come in, meet her. She is with Diamond in the Ruff, Diamond in the Ruff program that we talked about before, so there's a couple extra steps so folks know how we're going to support them through that trial period. But yeah, I mean, being open 7 days a week from 10 to 7 is just a great way to be able to make adoption accessible and easy for folks.
Your website again.
OregonHumane.org. So we update our website every day. We have new animals coming to the shelter every day, whether they are from our shelter partners like Marion County Dog Services, from animals who, from people who may need to find new homes for their pets. We are seeing folks that unfortunately have lost their housing or can't find pet-friendly housing or are having financial difficulties. So we are also here as a safety net for those folks who need to find new homes for their pets.
Thank you so much for joining us on InSight today, Laura Klink, PIO for the Oregon Humane Society, and thank you for joining us on InSight today with Paisley, who needs a home.
What a good girl.
Yeah.